Hello, my dear friends. Good morning. Today we are talking about your zone and clutter. So don't zone out on your clutter. I'm here to restore your responsibilities. You know, with freedom comes responsibility. And so I want you to be free because you were responsible and you did the things that needed to be done. I am not asking you to do drudgery. I'm not asking you to be a worker who works for 8 hours straight doing something in your home. That is not what I want you to do. I want you to do your bedroom. That's what you're going to do today. You're going to work this week. When you're hearing this, we're in zone 4. So if you're an at-home homemaker, you're going to work for 15 minutes in your bedroom or your bedroom closet or your bathroom off of your bedroom, your ensuite. Okay, that's it. So what are the kind of things we're going to talk about? What are the kind of things we're going to do? Well, we can deal with our clothes. We can deal with hanging clothes, folded clothes. Those are things we can deal with. That means we're looking in drawers, we're looking in closets, we're looking on shelves. We're going to deal with our jewelry box. That's something you can deal with. It needs to be decluttered. How about your shoes? How about your purses and pocketbooks? How about your accessories, your hats, your belts, your scarves, things like that? Those are things you could be working on, but not all of them at once. One section. So let's say you're going to work on your clothes, hanging. Just work on the blouses. Get them all together. Go through them. Figure out what you're keeping, etc. Okay? Books. Do you have books in your room? Let's go through those. Knickknacks. Everybody has those. Go through your knickknacks. Bedding, pillows, etc. Go through that. Does this look rough? Does it need to be replaced? Do you have 15 of them in your closet taking up room? Let's go through your pillows and your bedding, etc. How about your furniture itself? Do you have excess furniture in your bedroom? Lamps, fans? Do you have fans sitting all over the place? Portable heaters? Look around and see what really belongs in there. What's going to give you a comfortable living space with room, okay? Because, and then we have your husband's things. Those aren't things you want to mess with, but you are going to leave them on his side of the room. And maybe have a discussion, not a bossy discussion, just a discussion about what you would love to have this room for. Because here's the thing, I feel that people love bedrooms for. First of all, they are not an office. Studies show that when you leave a desk in your room and you work in your room, it takes away from your comfort and ability to sleep, etc. It's also not a gym. It's also not a rumpus room for children. It's not a storage room. It's a place for you to go away from everything else and take yourself away. It's a haven. It's a place to relax. It's a place to unwind. It's a place to cool down. If you're angry, it's a great place to go. It's a place for you to enjoy. It's your private space. So that's what you're working toward. You want this to be a private space for you, for your husband to enjoy. It's not a place for, I've seen things that belong in a garage or at the least in a closet in a bedroom. I've seen tools, giant exercise equipment taking up, or a person can't even walk without bruising their legs. I know that it depends on your home. You might have to have a desk in the corner because you work from home and that's the only place you can do it. I understand. But if you can partition it off somehow or keep that desk looking really clean and not having it blown up like Mount Vesuvius all over the corner, that'll be great. I understand that some of you have your Peloton in the bedroom, but if you've got enough room, that's great. But if you don't, that's not so great. I understand that some of you let your kids come in there and watch TV and jump on the bed and take their sippy cups in there. I highly disagree with that, because then that becomes their play space and they just use your room as an extension of their rooms. When they have a bedroom and maybe a play area in the living room or whatever, you need a place to get away, not just the laundry room and the bathroom where the fingers are under the door saying, "Mommy, Mommy." You need a place to be away where you can breathe. You really do. Okay. That's it. That is what I wanted to talk to you about. So I want you to restore your responsibility. That again, with freedom comes responsibility. And I want you to give yourself the grace to be responsible again, to be an adult again, not a child. You're not throwing your things on the floor. You're not throwing your things on a chair. You're not dumping your things on the bed. You're not dumping your things on your side table. You're not hanging things over the lamp. You're not throwing things on the floor of the closet. And now you have a chaotic place that you don't want to even be in. And some people don't even sleep in their beds. Some people have gone to sleep on the couch. And that's not healthy. So I want you to restore your responsibility one step at a time, 15 minutes a day, 4 days a week, or if you're payroll, 1 hour on a Saturday morning. Identify an area, work that area, and once it's tidy, every day do a clutter stop where you look at that one area. Say it's, maybe you have to have your desk in there. It's your desk. Every day, 3 times a day, look to see if you've left anything out. If you've done your closet, look to see if you've thrown anything on the floor in there. If you cleared your chair, look to see that you haven't put anything back on the chair. All right, that's what I want you to do. Okay, I think that's about it for today. Everybody's going to be doing their rituals every day. Every day, it's part of our responsibility to get up and get dressed and wash our face and brush our teeth and moisturize our skin, to comb our hair, to put our clothes on, to put our pajamas away, to wipe out the sink, to swish the toilet in every bathroom, to empty the dishwasher, to start a load of laundry. That's a morning ritual, and that's very important. And that means you're responsible. You get up and you don't stop till it's done. One of my people that I love to watch on YouTube says when she's in the kitchen, she's dangerous. That means she gets a lot done. I want you to be dangerous in that morning ritual. I want you to get it done so that you look presentable when you're done. And now the morning is still early and you're ready for the day. You're ready to tackle it. Next thing I want you to do is follow up on that laundry. Make sure you put it in the dryer. Make sure when it comes out of the dryer, you fold it or hang it up and put it away. It's not done until it's folded and hung up and put away. One load at a time, not mount fold more. No mount fold more. We're gonna keep it a nice even plane. We're gonna take the clothes out while they're warm and sweet, fold them, put them in a pile, take them to the bedroom, put them in the drawer. Take them to your child's room, put them in their drawer. If they're big enough to put their own clothes away, they're big enough to be doing their own laundry. That would be like 9 years old. Anything under 9, they're not going to put those clothes away nicely. You're going to have to observe. And what else was I going to tell you about laundry? Oh, Mount Washmore can come down just by adding an extra load every day to your load system. And then eventually you'll just have a maintenance mount to do, which is great. And that means you're being a responsible adult. Okay, and then we have our after dinner ritual where we clean up everything in the kitchen. Clean it up, sweep the floor, wipe the counters, make sure the dishes are in the dishwasher. Anything that needs to be hand washed is hand washed and in the drying rack. That you've cleaned the stove off. That's after dinner ritual. It takes about 15 minutes when everybody who eats is helping you. If you're big enough to feed yourself, you're big enough to help in the kitchen a little bit. Okay, then we have our before bed rituals where we get ready for bed. We look at our planner, we see what we've got planned for the next day, and we get ready for bed early enough in the evening that we're not already too tired to do it. So you do before bed 1 ritual, which is body and clothes. You check your planner, you check the weather, you lay out your clothes for the next day. Pardon me. You get ready for bed, either take a shower or bath or wash up, put on your clean underwear, your clean pajamas, put your dirty clothes in the laundry, hang anything that's still clean, hang it up, lay out your clothes for the next day. Moisturize your face and your arms and your legs, you're gonna feel so good. And then finally, before bed 2 happens when you're starting to get tired and you know what time you're supposed to go to bed. You make sure the dishwasher has soap in it and it's running. You make sure you brush your teeth and you get to bed on time. And in that time before bed 1 and before bed 2, if you have children, that's when they take their bath. That's when they play some quiet things. That's when you read a story to them. That's when you say prayers with them. And then you come back and you visit with your husband for a while. And then you go do your before bed 2 and you go to bed on time. And the clutter stops happen throughout the day, 3 times a day. That means you're just picking up the stuff that got left out, or helping your children pick up things that they left out, or instructing older children to pick up things that they left out. Set the example, be the responsible adult. Make sure you're taking care of your things and not laying them around. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a great week, and I'll see you live on Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern. And if you're a patron, I'll see you live on the Patron channel at 10:30 Eastern. All right, have a great day, and always remember to be beautiful because you are beautiful.